Video games have always been important to me and my childhood. Exploring the wondrous worlds within Mario 64's paintings, gazing out into the dreamlight expanse of Spyro the Dragon, sailing the vast ocean of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. So many experiences that truly sparked my imagination as a child. And I'm happy to say that imagination has stayed throughout my early adult years. Anyone familiar with my channel will know that my favorite video game genre is the RPG, or role-playing games. Games with lots of numbers, stats, reading, and adventure. Lots of people, I know, find this genre boring and slow, but these games are so incredibly important to me because of the stories they tell and the emotions that they help me feel. In this video, I'd like to briefly showcase two games that are integral to my love for gaming and storytelling. Two games that at a very young age my stepfather introduced to me. The Legend of Zelda and Final Fantasy VI. Before I talk about the actual games of this video, I'd like to talk about my stepdad. He's a kind soul who loves to make dad jokes and puns. He's always looking out for his kids. He also loves video games. He's easygoing and easy to talk to. He's also like me, where he genuinely loves to hear about the things that other people really enjoy. My mother and father, while they liked games, they weren't always as enthusiastic about them like I was. But my dad, when I first met him in his apartment when I was like 4, he introduced me to my favorite video game franchise of all time, The Legend of Zelda. I was not good at games as a child, but that didn't stop me from wanting to play them. Sitting on the floor of that apartment bedroom with the Nintendo Wii in front of me, playing Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, and not getting very far. Because the original Legend of Zelda was pretty cryptic in its game design, we decided to play it together on the Nintendo Wii Virtual Console. I miss the Virtual Console. It had so many games from the past, and it was always really fun to just browse the Wii Shop channel for hidden relics of the past from that old era of the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. We bought the original Legend of Zelda for the NES, and I held the controller, the Wii remote, and he had a guide open on the computer next to the Wii. I remember sitting in the office of that particular apartment that we lived in at the time, with the Wii remote held sideways in my hand while he told me where to go and helped me when I needed it. It was like he was my guide. Despite it being a single-player game, it felt like a co-op experience that I will never forget. And it's a memory where I fell in love with The Legend of Zelda. And ever since then, I've played every single game, new and old, talked extensively about them to my friends and loved ones, and of course, my dad. For the next story, I'm very much older than the Zelda story. I am 16 years old, and Nintendo released the Super Nintendo Mini, which is now discontinued, unfortunately, so good luck finding one. Which happens to have a game on the collection that my dad grew up with, Final Fantasy VI, or Final Fantasy III if you were living in the West, with a lot of It was a lot. Final Fantasy III is Final Fantasy VI. It's Final Fantasy VI. Just like with Zelda all those years ago, we would play this game together. I named every party member after someone we knew, mostly family members, and this was when I really fell in love with JRPGs. I played a few before, like I played Super Mario RPG, I played a little bit of the remake of Final Fantasy III on DS, but this is where I fell in love with JRPGs. The story of Final Fantasy VI captivated me and immersed me into a world full of adventure, characters who I learned to love and care about, sorrow, joy, a beautiful world of fantasy and magic and airships. We read the dialogue together, unlocked every single spell, esper, optional characters, summons, literally everything. Together, me and my dad completed Final Fantasy VI. 100%ed, all of it. And it was, to say magical would be an understatement. My dad is the reason why I love RPGs and video games as much as I do. He's a big reason why I love sharing my experiences with the games, and that love for sharing experiences is why I love making videos and streaming as well. Those shared experiences are what has developed my life into what it is now, and has helped me make tons of new friends that I now cherish very, very much. I may not be like a big shot in the streaming world or anything crazy in the real world either, but honestly, that's okay. I don't need to go anywhere else. I like where I am now, and I like who I am too. And while I only mentioned 2 examples of games, there are still so many that me and him experienced together that this small video wouldn't be able to cover without making it like hours long. Kingdom Hearts, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Metroid, Zelda, the list goes on and on and on and on. You might be wondering why I'm talking about this. Why am I talking about these personal stories and sharing them to people on the internet? The answer to your theoretical question is quite simple. My dad just graduated to get his teaching degree. He's gonna be a teacher. That's pretty cool. He's not gonna know until he watches this video, but to me, seeing him work really hard to achieve this dream has been really inspiring, to say the least. Seeing him strive towards this goal and reaching this point makes me want to talk about it. I'm someone who believes in chasing your dreams to make them come true, and he definitely has the drive to work his fucking ass off to get what he deserves. And he deserves the world. To close it out, I just want to say something to my dad, my father, who's probably going to cry after receiving this video and remembering all that cheesy childhood bullshit. Seriously, I'm really proud of you. Really, really proud. I'm proud that you're reaching your dreams, and I am really proud to be considered your daughter. And, I love you very much.